Today I've got a new goal in hand that I'm going to try and do a video a week about the projects that I'm working on. You know, I think now everyone's been housebound after this virus outbreak. It's nice to be looking at something hopefully that's fun and interesting while you're stuck at home in between doing some work or nothing, as the case might be. So I'm going to give you a little tour of my studio to start with, so you can just kind of see how I put things together and the stuff that I use. And I'm using my spare bedroom in my apartment. I use this room a lot, obviously, because all my things are in here, but I also use my open space, which I'll show you later, where I've got fantastic views out of the window over to the mountains and the sea. But first of all, let's have a look at the studio. So bear with me, and I'm going to take the phone off the tripod and I'll give you a little tour. Okay, so here we are. This is my home studio where I've got all my gear. The light's not brilliant over there, but I'll walk into the other corner and then you'll see it. So I'm disorganizedly organized. So I've got my lovely little pin board here with all my bits and pieces. I got that from IKEA, and it does help me keep things in order, only just. And then I've got all my shelves here, which I put up myself, with lots of brushes and bits and pieces here. And then another shelf which I kind of made and used some bricks which I found in the garden, but it really works because I can keep lots of bottles and things on there. And then I'm working on this piece which keeps going wrong, and then I keep redoing it, and I've just put some gold leaf on it, but I'm still not happy with it, so I'm going to work. That's a bit of collage and some moulding paste that I've used on that with bronzes and golds, which I'm doing for an exhibition at a yoga centre. So I wanted to kind of reflect, that kind of feeling of meditation and the Buddha, and which is what I love to do any case. But that one's not kind of come together quite yet, but we'll get there. And then I got my notice board, which I keep lots of inspirational notes on, and some things that I used to do many years ago when I was in business and had lots of money, which is a little bit different from now, but any case, it's a nice reminder. And then a very untidy shelves and all my paints there. I try and keep them all in colours, and all my stuff, my rulers and some brushes and stuff. So it's organised chaos for me. It's okay, it works. And then this is the project that I'm working on at the moment. I've nearly finished it, so I'm going to do I'll do an extension of this video of finishing it off, and then you'll see. So you can see kind of, I've got everything here, all my little paints that I use and all my tools and things. And I work on a glass top here. Now I found this great big piece of glass outside somebody's house that they were throwing away, and it's fantastic as a palette because I can put the paints on there and then just go directly off there, and it cleans up really easily. And then if I've got any leftover paint, I can put it in my box here that keeps it wet for a while. Hang on, I'll open it if it'll open. So then I can put it in there and keep the paints over if I need to. But working on glass is great for a palette, because you can just make a mess and it just cleans up, and so I really enjoy that. So there we are. There's my studio. Some more bits and pieces here with different kind of paints. I use all different sorts of paints, all acrylic mainly, but different makes, and so I just kind of try to keep those separate, and then I can just pick up what I need and put them on my desk, because those are the other ones there. And so that's my little studio, and this is my little garden outside, which is nice to look out on. And I'm north facing, so I don't get a huge amount of sunlight, which is actually really good for painting, because you don't want it too sunny. That's why I can't work in the other room as much when it's really sunny in there, apart from the fact it gets really hot. but this kind of works. And I've got my easel here and all my things, my projects that I'm working on down here. So, right, well, let's get started, and I'm going to finish this off so you can watch what I do. And there you go. See you in a bit. Okay, so here I have my 3 little canvases, which I've put moulding paste on here. Well, actually all over them, and then I've drawn into it, and then just made these sections here much thicker, and then painted them, obviously, as you can see. I've done that one in bronze and gold, and then this is in bronze and gold, these two. So I thought they would be kind of quite nice as a 3 on here with gold painted in between. So that's what I'm going to do. I've done a couple of those before and they look really nice, and they're all metallic paints. I've used let's have a look here, Deco Art for these, if you can see that. And you know, you don't need much of this. It goes an awful long way, and it's really inexpensive, and they're all metallic, they're nice quality, so that's what I've been using for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint in between here, and this is just a piece of hardboard from the DIY, and when I have pieces cut, I always keep the extra, because I can always use them. So like I'm using this one. So just for the in between here, I'm just using a cheapo art acrylic. Again, it's metallic, because I don't need an expensive one, because it's just going to be in between. So as I said to you before, I can use this as my palette, my glass. So literally I've just drawn the lines in between. So I'll probably have to give this a couple of coats in between. I'm not even priming it because it doesn't need to be done really. I'll go over the edges a bit just in case. So it's kind of really very straightforward, and then I use wood glue to glue the canvas down, and it works really well. It's quite strong, so they're not going to come off, because the canvases are really light. So just let that dry off a bit, and then I'll give it another coat in a minute. It doesn't take long to dry with it being acrylic. And then I'm just going to show you something else that I've been working on. I'll turn it up that way so you can see it. This is another piece that I've done with the Buddha. I think you can see that. Now what I've done here, I'm still not sure about it, but I'm going to see how I feel in a couple of days. What I've done here is 2 different kinds of textures with the paste. Now I just use, for this one, I just use Aqua Plast paste, which is here. And I just get this from a DIY shop. I'll show you. See that? And I just mix that up. You can get the standard one, or you can get fine to make it very much thinner. But I do get the stencil paste sometimes for finer things. But if I get that one in the fine, the Aqua Plast, it works just as well as this, and it's far less expensive. Anyway, so I've used the standard one with this, and I've done different textures. I did this with I think I did this with a chopstick. And then I did the circle with one of my palette knives. Hang on, I'll show you. I think I've got it here. That's it. A nice shaped palette knife to get the nice shapes with it. Then I did a collage of the Buddha face. And then what I've done here is I've put on, this is glue gun. So that's the glue from the glue gun. And then I've used gold leaf on that. if you can see it enough here. And I've also used gold leaf here and gold leaf here. It was quite tricky to do. Now this has gone all kind of wibbly wobbly, which actually I quite like, but I think I might make it even more because I've got a lot more on that side than that, but I still think it works quite nicely. I don't know what to think. There you go. So I'm going to work on that a little bit more, but it looks quite stunning. And oh, I've also put a little bit of gold leaf dotted on here and then metallic gold on top, and I'm thinking that I might just do a really nice, a very fine glaze over the face with a little bit of gold in it. Just, I don't know, I think it might work quite well. I love experimenting with this stuff, you know, it always evolves. I had in mind the circle and the texture, and I'd seen a design when I was watching the YouTube video about the expo in Paris. There was a beautiful bronze sculpture with a piece of metal across it. It was huge, it was lovely, and I thought, oh, that would be interesting. So that kind of gave me the idea of doing it like this with a piece across, and then that evolved into, well, let's bring this into gold, and you know, my imagination gets started and off we go. So I think it's worked quite nicely. You can see it okay. Right, so that's that piece that I'm still messing around with. So let's come back to this because it's dried off. Yep. So I'm going to do another coat on here, so you can see it's getting a bit more colour. You can see on there. Now I'm getting the gold coming through because the wood absorbs the paint quite quickly. But once you've got a coat on it, then the rest sits on top. So that's happening. And there we go. Just while that's drying off, I'll show you these. These are just, you know, nice little canvases. They always take really well to doing the texture. I do a lot of different things with the texture. In another video, I'll show you the ones that I've got up with my exhibition, which I will do actually a video start to finish with the texture. If you'd like, maybe put that in the comments and say, yeah, you'd like me to show you exactly what I do and how I do it with that. So I'm kind of making up different designs of those. And then one of the ones I've done which worked really nicely, I'll show you that. Hang on. I've got these, I bought these off Amazon, these tiny little canvases, which I used to do some acrylic pouring on, and then I got a bit bored with that, so I thought I'll do something else. So I've still got a few over, but what I've done with some of them is put the paste on this, made like a flower or, you know, just a lovely big circle. And then what I did for a project was I then stuck that on the other canvas. So I had then and I had three, so I had a gold, a bronze, a gold, and that looked really nice. So these are just little canvases stuck on the bit bigger canvases. And I've got another idea because I've got quite a few of these left. I've got 5, so I thought I might do a long one and then dot those along. So I might have a little try with that. So back to this, let's see how we're doing. One more coat and I think we'll be okay. And I might, in fact I will, because it's quite bright, that gold. What I might do is do it in go over it in the other gold. So this is Venetian gold. This was the Deco Art I was telling you about before, and they're nice colours. So I think I could go over this with that, just to tone it down slightly. Let's see. You know, the wonderful thing is that you can always change it if you don't like it, if it doesn't work. Let's just get rid of that on there. So I'm just going to take this off, wash that out a bit, get rid of that, and then put this on top. I'm going to try it when it's wet. I might have to leave it till it's dried, but let's just see. See, it's a deeper, you can see that it's a deeper gold. Yeah, that's better. So that's just going to go on top. It doesn't have to be even because it's just to go. So with the ones on top, you know, the canvases here, it's just kind of going to blend in to give it a bit of a background. So let's do a bit more of that. Do it on here. Oh, there's nothing like painting. It's so relaxing. It's so good fun. You know, I do so much teaching and people say, oh, when they come to a class, I can't draw, I can't paint. You know, everybody can. If you can hold a pen, you can hold a brush. If you can write, you can draw. If you know the difference between red, yellow and blue, you can paint. And I'm going to do some videos on different things that I can show people how you can just start and enjoy it, creating. We're all born to create, you know, it's part of life. So I think that's working okay. So whilst that's drying off, I'm going to get the wood glue and we can start gluing it together. Okay, so that's that. What I try to remember to do is to take the acrylic paint off on a tissue, this kitchen roll or a rag, before I actually put it in the water. A, it cleans the paint off much quicker, and B, it's more eco-friendly. If you have to put all the acrylic in the water and I throw the water away, it's got all the acrylic in it, which of course is plastic, and that can clog up your pipes. So and then obviously go into the ground, and we don't want that. So I try to clean as much off as possible, and then I wash the brush. Okay, so let me just find the glue, and then we can get that started. Okay, so this is just wood glue, cheap and cheery. We call it in Spain cola madera. So and then our ordinary glue is called cola blanca, which means white glue. So what I can do here, we're going to do, can you still see? Yeah, I think so. We're going to do that one in the middle and the other two at either end. So I'm going to start the either end ones first, and then I can line them up. So this one will go here. So I'm going to just put some glue on the back of this, and it's all very easy. It's great because these little canvases are very light, they're not heavy, so you're not having to stick anything really heavy down. So that's going to go on here, and I'm just going to line it up with that. Okay, press it down. I'll have to leave it for half an hour or so, and then I'm going to do the other side. This side, same thing. Let's put some glue here. They're so easy to do, it's lovely, and you know, they're very modern for a modern house, apartment. You know, they just look a bit different. And then this one's going to go here. So same thing, I'm going to line it up on here. Okay, so we've got those. Now, we've got to centre this one. So I just want to make sure this one's going to be okay. Right, there we go. Nearly done. bit more on there. Okay. And then, right, I'm going to stand up to do this so I get it right in the middle. I'm not very good at measuring, I can just see it eye from eye. Okay, so just press that down, and there we are. So once it's dried, I'm going to show you what it looks like actually on a wall, and there you have it. And then if you like it, and it's something you might like on your wall at home, you just let me know and email me. I've got all the descriptions below, and I'll put a list of the materials that I've used so you can see and the process. And then the next video, what I'll do is I'll actually show you exactly what I do. But if this is something that you like, you can email me. I can give you the sizes of it and the price, etc. And before it goes up on eBay, which I will probably do, but it'll definitely be on my website. And you can just email me from my website and I can give you all the details. And if you want to go and have a look at my website, I've got my whole collection of this these textured paintings. I think there's about, I don't know, about 15 of them, from really big ones to really small ones. And there might be some of those that you might fancy. So that's it for now. I'll come back to you when they're all dried, and nice to spend time with you. Don't forget to like if you liked what you see, and subscribe and press the little notification bell so you know when there's a new video coming up, and also share it. If there's somebody that you think, oh, that they'd like that, then please do share. But great to see you, and catch up next time. Take care. Bye now.